Hey y'all, long time no see. I just wanted to update you guys on how it's been going for me for the past few months since August. Last time you heard, I got accepted into nursing school, and let me tell you, one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life, period. Let me adjust this camera. It just has been. It's been a crazy first semester of nursing school. So I'm just gonna go through my experience and let you guys know how it was for me. Maybe different for you if you plan on going in, but this is just my experience. So first off, starting with orientation. Orientation was just a brief overview of what it is that you can expect. Really just a brief overview. Lots of people there. We have a cohort of 40 people. 40 people that are going to be going through this the next few years with you. If you don't know, I am in an ADN program, so I started August 2018 and I graduate May 2020, and so it was an overview, what to expect, the assignments, clinical rotations, what hospitals you will be going to, things of that nature. And there were 40 of us and we were all filled with anxiety. The orientation did nothing to curb that anxiety. Anxiety was just the running theme of the whole first semester, I can say with confidence. It was informational, basically, what you will need to know about your scrubs, where to get them, what books you will be needing, and the books that we were supposed to get were through Lippincott. And Lippincott books, at least these, they were all online. So we had a med-surg book, a nursing fundamentals book, a drug therapy book, and something else that we really didn't use this semester, and a nursing leadership book that will come later on in the program. So that whole package cost about $800, so they let us know how we could purchase that. We were the first cohort that would be transferring over to Kaplan instead of ATI because the powers that be thought that Kaplan would be more cost-effective for us and just a more, I guess, a better program to be dealing with according to them. And so that Kaplan cost $600 for the whole program. Each class would be using proctored tests from the program and testing you throughout the whole program on different things that have to do with that semester. So we had a lot of proctored exams, needless to say, and a lot of non-proctored exams through Kaplan this semester. So enough of that. The first 2 weeks of the program, so let me go back. So this semester I had 2 courses. One course started August through and ended October, about the third week of October. Took a final and everything for that course, and that course was ADN 1, Fundamentals of Nursing. And then the second course started in October to December, and that was med-surg. So that's how it was broken up. So for the first 2 weeks, we did nothing but skills. The first 2 weeks until September 11th. We did nothing but skills. They threw every type of skill that they felt was pertinent to us being in the clinical setting at us. So we had to do giving a patient bedpans, transferring from the bedside to wherever using a gait belt, changing the bedding of an occupied and unoccupied bed, range of motion, things that basically CNAs probably know at a baseline level. So they threw all of that at us the first 2 weeks. We just went directly to the campus. And so my schedule was set up Mondays, lecture from 7:30 to 12. Tuesdays and Wednesdays at the clinical, once the clinical started after September 11th. And that was 6:30 to 2 o'clock. And then Thursdays were skills lab from 8 to 11, where we would learn a new skill. So, and then once we learned that skill, we were checked off and we were able to perform that in the clinical setting at the hospital. So that's basically what my schedule was, and that was for the whole duration of the whole semester. even though we went to another class mid-October. So fundamentals of nursing was a struggle for me. Struggle for me because I'm an older student, I'm 35, got 3 kids, and for the past 10 years I was working for the government. So it is a struggle going from the office setting, not knowing any nurses at all in my life, just no nurses, not knowing anybody who works in a medical setting that can give me some information, some insight, to going, all out into the clinical setting. So communication, I learned that communication styles are different. I learned that things don't transfer over from the office setting to the nursing, the medical setting. So it just was a big learning curve for me. My first exam ever that I took in the nursing program, I failed. I got a 74 when you need a 75. So my studying habits were out of whack. Tests, exams after that, I got on the ball. But failing that first exam, they put you on contract, which is basically, a warning that you know that you need to get your exams up there. You sign it, it goes. I think it goes in your file, but I'm not sure, because she was saying that some things don't go in your file. I'm not sure if this was a contract or a warning, to tell you the truth. So exams after that, I was able to pull off high B's, A's, and so that was a blessing. And those are for lecture exams. So the way that the semester was set up, and I believe subsequent semesters after that, you need to pass your exams, your lecture exams, with a 75 and above. Clinical is also calculated into the final grade at the end, and you basically need points that give you a 75 and above. So clinical grades, you will be evaluated at the clinical site by your clinical instructor, and she basically gives you pass or fail. You have several nursing care plans due at the clinical site, so you have a patient assigned to you, and then you basically do a nursing care plan on them, and there were like 8 due throughout the whole semester. And so you have to have your nursing diagnosis correct, your plan of care correct for them, you have to understand their meds. It was just a whole hullabaloo. I don't know what else to say. So some of the things that I was able to do this semester, I passed meds on patients. That was an experience. I gave injections. I participated in the flu shot clinic that was given at the school. So I felt more like a confident nurse, even though I'm not a nurse yet, but I sure as hell am on the way. I also had a rotation at the hospital where I followed the wound nurse. So she was packing wounds, cleaning them, basically caring for wounds. That's, pretty clear cut in what it says. And I did a rotation in the OR, the operating room, and I pretty much know I don't want to be an operating room nurse, because they don't really have much interaction with the patient because they're already knocked out or they're going to be put under with anesthesia. And so, yeah, probably not going that route. And from what I saw, the CRNA literally was on his phone. Like, he puts you under and then he was just like on Facebook. So I'm like, you get paid the big bucks to just be sitting there on your phone. But I'm sure he does more. But I don't know. Doesn't seem like a very exciting job for me, although you get paid the big bucks. And then at the clinical site, you get like 2 evaluations per class. Per, how I said the fundamentals ended in the middle of October. We received 2 evaluations during that class period, and then in the second, which was Med-Surg, from October to December, we received 2 clinical evaluations by our instructor then. So my clinical instructor basically thought I was quiet, which, I take into consideration. I know that I need to put myself out there more, but I definitely am not how I was when I started. It was very, it was just a culture shock to me because I'm out of my element, what I expected. And I didn't really have high expectations, but the first day of clinical, I didn't expect that we would just be thrown out there with no direction on what to do. And we were literally thrown out there with no direction on what to do. Like, we were like, do we follow our nurse or what? But the day went smoothly anyway. We just helped where we could, and we weren't very confident in any of the skills that were thrown at us for the first 2 weeks. So as time progressed, we learned from some of the CNAs there. Thankfully, our site had CNAs, and we had a clinical group of 10 students. My clinical group, they were pretty down-to-earth people, and we all got along fairly well. Very well, not fairly. We heard other things about other clinical groups, some cliques forming and things like that. And unfortunately, with my clinical group, we won't be together next semester. We were all broken up, different registration dates, and so that's just what happened. So we pray that we are placed with some cool people in our new clinical group. But yeah, cliques can happen, and I'll make a video about that. I'll make a video about what to expect when you do your clinical rounds, how to excel in them, even though I don't feel that I excel to my highest ability this time around, but I definitely have grown since first starting this program, and that's what I expect to see for myself. I put myself in uncomfortable situations, and over time I became comfortable. So initially, when I first started in the clinical, I was so timid and shy and just scared to enter a patient's room because I didn't want to bother them. But as the time went on and the semester progressed, I got used to it, and I was able to confidently go into the patient's room, take vitals, do the necessary things that were required of me, and I give myself credit for that, even if my clinical instructor sees me as shy when she compares me to everyone else, or quiet. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. I know this video is kind of rambling, but this was all just my experience in nursing school. It's been anxiety filled. My hair was falling out. I've gained weight. I definitely know that. And I'm off for 3 weeks. I start back up on January 14th. I've been out for a week. I've been out for a week, and it doesn't even feel that long. So I know this vacation is gonna go extremely fast. So I plan on throwing some videos out. I'm sorry that I haven't been making videos, but it literally has taken up my life, nursing school. I'm not even sure how these other people get videos out, but I'm pretty sure they don't have kids or have a life like mine. But I need to try harder to try to grow this channel. I plan to have some educational videos, what I learned, you learn before you even, get to nursing school. I just want to be a help all around. And yeah, hopefully you have enjoyed this update. I'm just happy to have completed my first semester. May 2020 seems so far away, even as I say it right now, but I'm steadily making progress, and progress. That's all that it is about for me. I don't compare myself to other people. I just compare myself to the way that I was yesterday, and I'm happy with that. I wish I could have impressed my clinical instructor more, but she seemed to not be impressed by me. I don't know what to say to that. I know I did my best and I impressed my patients, and some of the nurses, but I guess my communication skills need work, and I'm all for that. I need to communicate better, and I just have more opportunities to do that before I officially become a nurse, so I'm not too worried about it. I can make a video about, later on I'll put out some videos about studying habits, the best ways to study. I made it out of the first class with a B. I made it out of the second class with an A, and For me, the hardest part was fundamentals because it was such a culture shock to me, and really getting acclimated into the way that the program is set up is probably the worst struggle ever that any nursing student will have. Once you get the hang of it, of how the flow is and what's expected of you, I'm not going to say it's a cakewalk because I haven't completed the program, but it definitely helps to reduce some of that anxiety that you enter the program with. And everyone has that anxiety. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this update. Other than that, I will do a time management video because it's basically going to be an issue. You definitely need to know how to time manage, and I'm not sure that I was the best at it. I did the best I could this semester. You know, I wasn't the one scoring 100% on exams, even though I scored 100% on one exam. But, you know, after a while, I came to the conclusion that getting 100s should not be the goal. Getting an A, yes, but if you don't get an A and you just simply pass 75 and above, that's good enough. You know, I'm not saying that you should just aim to be good enough. I'm saying that you shouldn't stress yourself out when you know you've studied the best to your ability. That's basically all you can do. But we're all accepted into the program, and we tend to forget that, and we're all overachievers to have been accepted in the first place. We've all tried our best to make those grades to be able to be accepted, and some things we have to let go of. We have to let go of perfection, because being in a nursing program is definitely a humbling experience, grade-wise and just human perspective-wise. But that's not even a word, but soon you'll figure out what I mean. But anyway, I make a video about organization, what to expect in your clinicals, how to excel in your clinicals. I know because I don't feel that I excelled, and I can tell you what I've done wrong and what you can do to be better, and just a lot of videos coming your way. Anyway, thanks for watching this update, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.